Okay, let's start off with some carrots, some beautiful carrots, another root vegetable. And they got about 6 or 7 of these carrots here. I might add another 1 or 2 more, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so as you can see, lengthwise, there it is, carrot. You can even see my hand. And what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to peel that. You want to get that skin off of there. Do that first. And this is the type, and this peeler that I'm using, I would recommend. It's a lot easier than the peeler that we've all grown up with. It's just a lot easier to work with. Also, just a lot safer too. And of course, if anything, you always want to peel away from yourself, you know, just to be on the safe side. Okay, make sure got that off. Okay. Now, just like before, I was mentioning with the celery, I'm going to also cut this end off here. We want to make it into bite-sized pieces. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm sure you can see, I'm going to go like that. I'm going to cut down into the carrot. All right, you get the gist of it. And I'm going to take that, and also what I'm going to do too is, you see like how this is like flat, where like this is like oval. What you want to do is whenever you're cutting vegetables, you want to have it on the flat side, just for safety reasons right there. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to cut this in half like that. Then I'm going to make sure you can see it as best as possible. I want to make sure you can see. And then I'm going to, like before, I just like cutting my vegetables on a bias, on an angle, like that. And like I said, we're looking for like some nice bite-sized pieces. That's about the size that we want. So I mean, it'll cook down a little bit, to shrink a little bit, and that's what we want to for your carrots. So that's going to add a lot of flavor to the soup too. Also, you know, variety of carrots, different colors, because like I mentioned before, we eat with all our senses, and the more color, the more the better, the more tastier the soup's going to taste, because it's just prettier. And now the onion. I'm sure you're all familiar with them. Some people love them, some people hate them. Some people like them raw, some like them cooked, some sauteed, some just love them any way you can get them. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is this top. We're going to remove that, and the best way of doing that is like we're just going to take the knife and cut into it slowly. And what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can really see, like I'm kind of doing that. You hear that sound? Like I actually kind of peeled it a little bit. Okay, now we have the other end of the onion, as you can see, and that I'm going to take care of as well. And we're going to go like that. Okay, now we're just going to take that outer skin off the onion. I would also recommend too is before you start cutting your onions, keep them in the refrigerator. We all know the issue of making your eyes tear, ears, yeah, right. And it just makes it, you don't have that effect. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that in half, like that. Half. Then, what I'm going to do is, like you can see, I don't know if you can really see it, but there's like grooves in the onion, like grooves in the heart, like the song by Delight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the top and go like that into the lines. Okay, you can see that fairly well. Don't want to cut myself either. Okay, and then I'm going to go like here, you can see, and I'm going to cut down like that all the way through the onion. Yep, just like that. And technically, you can see, I'm sure you can see that. That's the type of pieces you want to have, and they'll cook down even a little more once I saute them. And that's what you want from the onion. I'm going to be doing 2 onions like this, and when I have all my vegetables done, I'm going to saute them off. Escarole, one of my favorite leafy greens to add to pretty much any soup that I make that requires a leafy green. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut it in half. Make sure you can see that properly. Okay, just like that. Then, turning it on the flat side, I'm going to cut it into quarters. like that. The other one half. Get that into quarters, make sure you can see. Okay. And then essentially I'm just gonna take this and like I did with celery, like tight, you know, get it like a little tight there, as you can see. And I'm just gonna go and just like that. Very simple, nothing sophisticated, nothing technical. And I'm gonna wanna get it into pieces like this. Now just remember, even though if you're saying like, wow, they still look kind of big, once I'm gonna, like anything, once you add them to the soup, they just cook down into nothing. Just like collard greens, spinach, and any other green you can think of. So yeah, that's what we want. I'm even gonna cut a little bit into the ends, just a little bit, just because like there's like that little bitterness of that flavor you get. And yep, that's what we're looking at, people. That's some beautiful escarole, and that's gonna add a lot of flavor, give it like a little bit of a Mediterranean flair as well. All right, getting back to the first vegetable I did up, the celery. As you can see, there's a nice bowl of celery. That's what we're gonna get. And what I'm gonna do first also is, with all the vegetables you're gonna see is, we're gonna wanna hit them with some salt and pepper, of course, because you know, without that, they don't have any flavor, so get a little bit of that going on in there. Mix it up a little bit more later, okay, you can see that. Then remember the carrots, okay, same thing, kind of like rinse and repeat. And you know, this is some absolutely beautiful vegetables in there. You know, that's your carrots, beautiful carrots. And then probably remember, oh, yep, the onions. You can't forget about the onions, as they say down in Kentucky, or as I think in Norway. I think that's how they say onions. They say it like onions. So we'll get a little bit of that pepper on there, some of that salt, and a little more for good luck. Okay, we'll mix that in. And then we have the escarole, which I just did. And same thing too. Make a little seasoning in on there as well. Because, you know, that you know, just so you know, like, it's not about making something peppery or salty. It's about bringing out the taste of everything. Now, one ingredient I'm not going to add any seasoning to, and that's right over here. I just want to show it to you. This is the 15 or 17 bean mix. Now, what you do is, like, if you and of course you can go with canned beans. You know, you can do that. I prefer going with dried beans. And what you do is the night before, you soak them in water and put a lot of water there, because if you don't, it'll easily soak up the water very, very quickly and fastly. And also, you notice like how big the beans will grow inside while they're soaking. So, as you can see, and the other reason why I like going with this beans is because, like, you can see all the different colors. It's more colorful, so that adds to the soup as well. Makes it more colorful, brighter, and you're going to enjoy it more.